In this video we're going to take a look at some of the three-dimensional features of Excel. Excel allows you to have multiple worksheets in a workbook. This particular workbook has 3 worksheets down here, one for Boston, one for Chicago, and one for Atlanta. And Excel provides some ways to format multiple worksheets if they look the same as these 3 do. You can format them all at once instead of having to do it 3 separate times. So we're going to take a look at that and a couple of other things that have to do with three-dimensional worksheets or workbooks. First of all, we're just going to rearrange the worksheets down here. I want them in alphabetical order, and all you have to do is click and drag if you want to change the order. And I want to rename them as well. I'm going to type the full name of the city. Just double-click. And you can also right-click and choose rename, but I think double-clicking is easier. Okay. We can also change the color of the tabs. Just right-click, choose tab color, and let's make Atlanta red, and let's make Boston green. That's not green, is it? Let's make Boston green, and let's make Chicago blue. And you'll notice that the tab that's selected is white, and you can see a little bit of the color down at the bottom, but it's mostly white. Okay, now we're going to do some formatting of these worksheets, and we're going to format them all at once. And there's a way that you can do that by selecting all the sheets at once, and any formatting you do on one sheet applies to the same area on the other sheets. We've got 2 choices here. We can click on the first one and then shift click on the last one, and they all get selected, and they all turn white. So that's one visual clue. And they also the word group appears up here on the top when you've got more than one spreadsheet selected. And the other way to do it is right click, and if you want all the sheets you can do select all, which is what we want in this case. So let's go up here and we'll make a few changes. Let's format the Atlanta office, the office name here, as a title. And let's take these and we'll make them heading 3. We'll take these and we'll make those heading 4. And let's take all of the numbers here, and we're going to do some totals here too. So let's make them Verdana. Go down to the V's here, and Verdana, and we'll make them a little bit smaller, and we'll make them 10 points. Okay. And let's make the first row here have a $sign but no decimal places, so we'll decrease the decimal twice. And the other 2 rows of numbers, what we'll do with them is we'll make them, give them a comma, so numbers that are bigger than 1,000 will have commas in them. And then we're going to go down the bottom here, and here's a quick way to get totals for a bunch of columns. Just select all of the numbers at the bottoms of the columns, or all the cells at the bottom, and click on auto sum. And if you go back and look at this, it's giving me sum from B3 to B5, C3 to C5, and so on. And since these are totals, let's go down here and let's do a total style with a single line above and a double line below. And now let's go down here. If I click on Atlanta, nothing changes, but if I click on Boston here, the group selection goes away. And now if I look at all 3 of these, they're all formatted exactly the same way, although I do notice here that I've got a little discrepancy in the column width, so I'm going to shift click on Chicago again, click on Atlanta, shift click on Chicago, and I'm going to select all of the columns here, and I'm going to make them all exactly the same width. And now if I go down here and I flip back and forth from one sheet to another, the column width is exactly the same. So if you want to format multiple sheets the same way, don't do it multiple times. Select all of the sheets and just do it once.